Okay, here we go. So this is a tutorial for creating a scene with two characters and some mountains in the background. This is starting at the point where I'm assuming that you have uploaded some characters up to Mixamo and you have downloaded them as FBXs. So that's where we're going to start here on this tutorial. So I have Cinema 4D open. I'm gonna save it so that I know that this is already saved, and if my system crashes, I won't lose my work. So I'm gonna call it two characters underscore ex Garcia. Maybe you wanna give your name somewhere in there. Okay, save, and I'm gonna go and file merge. And I'm going to bring in my astronaut. So this is okay. I'm going to click OK. And my astronaut should appear here. What I'm going to do is, remember, I have to group these. So select these two things, group. And then I'm going to go to coordinates. And I'm going to upsize it to like 50, 50, and 50 on this middle column. Just so they won't be so small. Because I'm going to rename this character 1. That way I can identify them because I'm going to have two characters. So I'm going to move this guy a little bit back so that we can make room for the other one. And okay, so I'll just position this over here. File, merge project. I'm going to find the other character. It's going to be this one. Click open. This is okay. Again, I'm going to group these. And I'm going to name it character 2. And I'm going to size it up to 50, 50, 50 again so they could be equal size. And here we go. Okay, I'm going to take this guy and rotate him with my rotation tool. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play him. I'm going to play the scene so that I can see how much they move and where they move. And that way I can position them accordingly. So I'm going to pause it right here, which would be the closest or the furthest he goes. His leg is extended. And I'm going to bring it up close to the other guy's kind of face or chest, however, wherever he reaches. So I can rotate here and kind of get a good sense of where I need to bring him up to. And that looks about right. Okay. So I can now play it all the way through. And it should look okay. So I'm just going to let it play here. And this guy's going to swing around his leg. And it looks okay to me. Okay. So now I'm going to add a landscape. And here it's right over them. So I'm going to zoom out so that I can move it out of the way with my move tool selected. I'm going to position it right here. And I'm going to make 4. Now as I make copies, the way I'm making copies here is I hold the command button and then I grab one of the axes and pull it. And it automatically makes a copy. So I'm going to make 4 copies. I'm going to select these 2 by holding shift and bring them together, move them together. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them a little bit down so that these guys are not, it doesn't look like they're mud. They're standing in mud. So I'm going to move them all together by holding shift. I can select them all and then I'm going to move them down on the y-axis. And that looks about right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to make another copy of one of these. And by holding Command or Control on Windows. And as you can see, I've made another copy. I can stretch it by pulling on these little yellow lines here. Or by going over here, I'm going to make this one taller. So I go to Object. And then I can move that y-axis, the size of the y-axis, and y, of course, is up and down, so that made this mountain a little bit taller. I'm gonna make another copy by holding Command, pulling on it, rotate it, and I'm gonna position it over here. I'm gonna grab the move tool, move it over here, and I'm gonna make it bigger, longer, and taller. Not too much, but that looks good. Again, I'm gonna make this one in here a little bit taller, so that there's a little bit of variation amongst the 4 initial ones. Okay, and now I'm gonna make another copy here. This is looking good. I'm gonna grab this one and I'm gonna make a copy. So I'm gonna hold Command. Sorry, I need to resize this one a little bit more. So you just want to get a nice variety of sizes of mounts, so that it doesn't look like a pattern in the background. And it doesn't really matter what they look like, but you just want a little bit of variety amongst these. Okay, so I made another copy, holding Command and pulling on the axis there. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit taller. Again, you can resize these by pulling on these little yellow dots that are on these. You have the 3 axes. And okay, I'm gonna make a copy of this one for this side. And this is looking okay. I'm gonna pull this one up, and I'm gonna make this one a little bit wider. Move it over, and a little bit taller. Okay, I think this looks good. I'm gonna select all of these by holding Shift, Object, and Group, and that way I'm gonna rename this Mountains, so that I know that all the mountains are grouped into this null object. Then I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to kind of position my view, so that you can start seeing what this is looking like. And you see that it looks like they're like in this kind of like barren landscape with mountains and like little hills all around them in a variety of sizes. Okay, so this is kind of what we wanted, what I wanted for this particular scene. Now they have a setting. So we got these 2 characters, and now they're like getting ready to battle or something, or whatever your characters are doing in the middle of this kind of like barren landscape. Just kind of find a position where you want them. And I'm going to add a camera. And here's my camera. I'm going to go inside the camera. And right now I haven't done anything with the camera, so it's still kind of the same as if I was using just the scene camera. So I'm going to get out of the camera. I'm going to turn over so that I can show you that where the camera is positioned, and I'll switch in and out. So let me kind of situate myself here. I'm going to zoom out and kind of position myself so that I can show you the entire scene. Here are my 2 characters and the camera, and if I go in the camera, I will get the view. So it's pointing to the 2 characters. So here I'm inside the camera, outside the camera. Okay, that's how you kind of situate yourself and figure out what the camera is doing and what you are doing and what's happening in the scene. Okay.